Hi everyone, welcome to week 6. I don't know about you, but right now outside it's pouring with rain in Melbourne. Freezing cold, thus I have my beanie on. Um, but you have made it. You're halfway through the teaching period, so that's really exciting. And I'm really glad to see as well that some of you are actually um, hopping on discussion boards and you haven't done so yet. And so I really want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for hopping on, for sharing your ideas. This is really about shared practice and collaboration with each other. So the more that you share, I think the greater you're going to get out of it, the experience of being an online student at university. So a few of you have mentioned that you are going on pracs in the coming weeks. First of all, I want to wish you all the best on your prac. I love having student teachers in my classroom. I'm all about delving in there, getting them to do as much or as little as they want, but giving them a really solid and a really deep experience of what it is to be a teacher. I know a lot of people when they go on pracs become like a ghost in the discussion board, but I really want to encourage you to not do that. I think you can learn so much through practicums, and you can learn so much about how art is used in an early childhood setting. So I would love you, even if you're in a upper primary classroom on your prac, or if you're in a kindergarten room, hop on the discussion board and share with us what you're learning, share with us what you're seeing, because this is all about helping each other out, helping each other understand what does it mean to have arts intertwined within the early years education. This week, hopefully as well, we'll have the Flip Collab out for you. Fee, I know, is doing that this week. So as soon as she has it out, she'll put an announcement up. I'll also send you guys the link via email and put it on the discussion board. This week we are looking at dramatic play and drama, and we're asking you to find some resources, some props that you could use to help children explore role play and dramatic play within the classroom. Now I really want to articulate here, drama isn't about getting children to be actors and actresses. It's not about getting them on TV. It is actually about helping them to explore the world around them, helping them to understand the roles that people play in different parts of the community, helping them to experiment and interact with other people. I know in my own classroom, I have a home corner, and this often gets changed according to the topic and according to the interest of the children in my class. I've had many different home corners, from cafes that help to not only experience what a cafe is like, but help with their literacy skills. They write menus, they think of a cafe name, they take orders for people. I have had vet surgeries where we look after all the animals. That's a really big one, I think, with the kids, for both genders. We've had hairdressers. We've had post office. The post office is a really good one, especially if you're focusing on, in foundation anyway, when we focused on writing letters to people. So we did a big post office, we wrote letters to people, we made a big post box, and they could write letters to each other, and at the end of the day we would pull the letters out and hand them out, and the kids really enjoyed that. So I want you to have a think about, a lot of you are already in early childhood classrooms, whether it be in preschool or in primary school. You're already working in some respect. So I want you to have a think about, how do you support role play in these areas, and what kind of props do you use? I know that when we were exploring in foundation people who help us in term 4, we actually got a whole lot of different people out. So we had like firefighters, ambulance officers, we even had medical students out that came and did a teddy bear hospital with us, and that was such a great experience for kids. They all had to bring their teddy bears, and all their teddy bears had hurt themselves, and it was the most terrible day because they were all very sick and very poorly. And so we took them to the teddy bear hospital, and at the teddy bear hospital, these medical students who were first years and had to apply some knowledge, they set up different stations, and the kids were split up into smaller groups, and they went from station to station and learnt different things about what happens if you do things like break your arm. So, you know, for example, one station was an x-ray machine. Well, what is an x-ray machine? What does it do? What happens when your teddy gets put on the x-ray machine? What do you see? You know, they had the sticks where when you go to the doctor and you have to open your mouth and go say, ah. They had bandages because some teddies had really hurt their arms and they were really sore, and some of them were broken. And so, well, what happens with that and how do I fix that? They had band-aids, lots of different experiences within this teddy bear hospital, and it was a really deep experience for children that carried on into the classroom, in the home corner, and in many different ways. But they ended up playing Teddy Bear Hospital for weeks. And I had to go and frantically find a whole lot of teddies because, of course, the kids need to take their teddies home. But we used a whole lot of teddies in the classroom, and our little classroom became a big hospital because all these teddies and all these little animals were all sick, and we had to help them. And even to some respects, some of them pretended to be sick and, you know, pretended to wrap each other in bandages. I know my own girls have done that at home. We've pretended that their teddies are sick, and what do we do? I still have some band-aids stuck on teddies that I just couldn't pull off. Behind me, you can see I've got a little kitchen corner. My girls at home, they love to get out all the kitchen food and have afternoon teas and have lunch, and I often find clumps of play food all around my house, and it drives me bonkers, but they are exploring role-playing. And don't kids love role-playing? It might be, you know, it might be being superheroes. I know that my daughters are really girly. They like the ballerinas, they like the princesses, and yet we have a few of their friends who are boys, and they're all about being superheroes. So they come over and play, and Bella always gets them to dress up, and it's fine because they can be the superheroes and she can be the ballerina, or she can be the princess. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have got to add to the list. The coming weeks are really going to help you with your assessment, and I want to really encourage you with your assessment to start now. If you do a little bit every week, break the assessment down, maybe try and do 1 to 2 resources every single week. Explain them, explain what they do in accordance to the essay question, and then focus on the next part of the assessment. It's really important that you guys are organised now, and I think with this assessment it is so practical, and it's one that you can take and you can use in your little toolbox of resources. I know for me, I did a drama subject at uni, and this was over like 10 years ago, but this drama subject I will never ever forget, and I still have the book full of resources that I have drawn on for years in my classroom. And so I really want to encourage you to make this a folio that you can draw on in your own teaching practice. So looking forward to seeing you hop on to the discussion board this week, sharing your ideas, sharing the props that you could use, and then we all come away with a whole lot of ideas for role playing in our early childhood settings or our primary school classrooms. Have a great week 6. Next week is consolidation week, so a week off. And I will talk to you guys later. See you, everyone.